What niches are going to be the hottest in Q2 of 2020? What's going on, everybody? Matt Wacek here. Welcome back to a brand new video, and I wanted to do this video not to just lay out the 5 best niches for Q2 of 2020 or anything like that. I want to basically give you some actionable advice that if you take this information I'm going to give you in this video and all the other videos I have on my channel, all 220 plus videos, you take the information and you go do the work and you stay consistent with the work. And it's going to be a grind. It's not going to be fun necessarily unless you make it fun. But if you do that and you stay consistent, like I said, you will start to see the rewards of that. So I want to give you actionable advice for what to do right now here in the middle of January to tap into the absolute best time of the year for local affiliate SEO, also referred to as pay per call, pay per lead, lead generation, bottom line, building a website, ranking that website, and monetizing that website by having it get traffic for keywords related to service in a city or service in a state or service in a community, whatever it may be. Someone who has a property that needs work done to it, and we make money when someone either makes a phone call or sends an information through the contact form that is on our website. Whether you're selling the leads directly to a business or you're routing them to an affiliate network and collecting a commission for doing so, the principle of what I'm going to talk about here is the exact same no matter what your monetization strategy is. You could even be someone who owns a business in any one of these niches, and this is still the same exact principle, and that's something you need to be aware of. Very much so going into Q2, especially as it's only about 2.5 months away, at least for the very beginning of it. So Q2, if you didn't know, is April 1st through June 30th, otherwise known as the absolute peak for outdoor home services and really just home services in general for most of the niches. If you go and look at Home Advisor and you go look at any of the other websites where you can see just trends with different services, you will see that there's an absolutely just sky high, skyrocket demand for home services at that time of year. I experienced this for multiple years in my landscaping business when my site was ranking because we would just get phone calls like crazy, especially the first couple warm weeks of the year where it had been winter for multiple months and then things kind of slowly got a little bit warmer, and then once you have those few 65, 70, 75 degree days and it stays consistent like that for a couple weeks, the calls just start coming in and it just goes absolutely nuts. And this happens across the entire country. If there are homes and there are businesses, there is a demand for these types of services. So this necessarily is not a cut and dry, oh, these 5 niches are going to be the best, those 5 niches are going to be the worst. It's not going to be anything like that. There's probably 100 different niches that you can tap into that are going to be in demand. And this is not like Shopify where, let's say someone says, okay, yeah, these dog necklaces are the best and I've sold 5,000 units of them, and then all of a sudden 20 other stores are selling this same dog necklace and people's entire Facebook feeds are completely bombarded with ads for this dog necklace. So this is not the case. If you can get a website to the first page, ideally closest to the top as you can, and if you can get a GMB listing, that's another added bonus as well. In a city where there's a decent amount of population, I would say ideally between 25 to 100,000 people. You can do it with less, you can do it with more. If you do it with more, it's going to take more resources and more time and more patience to get that site to rank. But obviously the payoff is more because you have more traffic and more population. So for the most part, these services are always going to be around. It's not like there's going to be a saturated market or anything like that. Because of the fact that these companies are going to be buying these leads because they want to either grow their company or they're maybe a big company that just knows that there's going to be some churn. Not every single client stays on for dozens of years. So they have to go out there and buy more leads to get them into their sales funnel and turn them into a paid client. So if we come over here to LeadSmart's website, you can see here just the affiliate resources where you can see the services that you can market. There is absolutely endless amount of niches here that you can tap into. And I would say for every single one of these niches, there are probably hundreds, if not thousands, especially for some of the bigger niches, probably tens of thousands of cities that you can, if you can gather traffic from that city to your website and they make a call from your website or send their information to the contact form, that is a monetizable lead. I don't even know if monetizable is a word, but I'm going to make it a word. So you can see, I mean, I'm still scrolling. There's just a ridiculous amount of services that you can tap into. And part of the reason that I have not had a whole lot of content here on the channel is because we've just been going crazy, not only with signing new SEO clients, but also with building a massive, massive portfolio of these sites, specifically single city focus sites. And so what we've been doing is basically building out a really small, lean website. And I'm going to talk about this more in the 12 Christmas case study sites when I do the whole analysis of that particular case study and the amount of time it took and that sort of stuff. But what I've been doing and what seems to work really well is you build a ridiculously lean site, 1 to maybe 3 pages at max, and those do not count the request a quote page or the privacy policy or terms of service pages. Both having good on page and going out and getting citations right away, getting social signals, and then starting to do PBNs and getting somewhat aggressive with it and balancing them out with social signals. And then after about a month of the website being in existence, starting to build PBN links and being kind of aggressive, balancing it out, of course, with social signals so it looks natural, of course. But then as you start to see the ranking increase for those main couple pages, that is when you can branch out and start building out the other pages. So let's say it's a landscaping site and you just have content about landscaping. You don't mention any individual service like building a paper patio, doing mulch, or anything like that. It's just the most broad content you could ever imagine. But after that trust and authority is built into that site, you then branch out and you scale up that site by building a page about mulch installation, mulch delivery, rock installation, retaining walls, paver patios, and the list just goes on and on and on. Same thing with lawn care. And again, I know that I'm talking about the niches that I talk about here on the channel, but it's really easy for me to just name off all these services because I know the industry so well. But the reason that I've been doing this is that I've noticed that it's a lot easier to rank those sub-service pages. One, because of course, the competition is a lot less for paver patios in a city than it is compared to landscaping in a city for that keyword. But as your site's getting traffic and Google sees that you got links and there's social activity going on with the website and that sort of stuff, it almost is an instant ranking to get paver patios in that city, for example. Same thing for, let's say it's air conditioning repair. You put a ton of emphasis on the homepage, which is all about HVAC. Then you build an air conditioning repair page. And then as soon as it's indexed, it's on page 2. Maybe within a week or two after that, you're on page 1 because the site has so much authority and that authority was transferred to that new page that was just built. So hopefully that makes sense. If you have questions on my process with that, leave a comment below and I can explain it a little bit in depth. I can also do a video on it as well if you guys want to see a little bit more in depth on that. I've also taken a similar strategy with the new Magic Page plugin sites that I have built because I want to really make sure that, one, all the pages get indexed, because I noticed that with a brand new domain and brand new site, when using Magic Page plugin, if all of a sudden over the next 2 weeks, which you can drip feed in the software, the pages take forever to get indexed and you end up having to manually do it and it can be a pain. So I'm taking a similar strategy and applied it to some of the sites recently that I've built, and we'll do the same for more of them for Magic Page plugin because you build up that authority. And then when you're ready to expand the site after that trust and authority is built in, you've been able to climb up the rankings a bit, then you put Magic Page plugin to work. You can get first page rankings for hundreds of cities throughout that entire area that you are targeting. So if you have questions or you want me to do a video a little bit more in depth on explaining that process, leave a comment below and I can definitely do so. So bottom line, the absolute best niches to get into right now, and when I say right now, I mean after you get done watching this video, you go to Google, you look up some of the search results, you decide a niche, you decide a city, you go to Namecheap, you go to HostGator, you build the site with Elementor ideally, or if you want to use something else, you can do that. And then from there, you get your citations, social signals, wait a month, start hitting it with PBNs. And if you do things right and you stay consistent, you'll be able to tap into the traffic that's going to absolutely spike in the months of April, May, and June. So the niches that are obvious, of course, you got the ones that I talk about all the time: landscaping, lawn care, and really it comes down to everything on the outside of the house. Wherever a company cannot do work because the ground is frozen in the northern states, and this does have some seasonality trends in the southern states as well, but anything that is done on the outside of the house, I cannot stress the amount of people that want work done to their house, or at least get a quote. We don't have to worry about the selling and getting the job and actually having the person fork out $5 grand for a new landscape or whatever. But we just want people that are going to be prospective clients. And the amount of people that look for these types of services in the springtime is astronomical. Millions and millions of people across the entire country. Even in the southern states where the weather is consistently warm throughout the whole year, it still spikes. So you also have things like exterior painting, you have fences, decks, concrete is another one, paving with asphalt, so people getting new driveways, seal coating their driveways is another one, siding, windows, installing or repairing them or whatever. Even window cleaning actually as well. Let's do WC. Tree services are another one that's going to be in big demand, though there is demand for that all throughout the winter. It's not obviously as high as in the springtime, but there is the demand for tree trimming because a lot of people have that done during the winter. It's a good time to do it for the trees. The list just continues on and on. Epoxy flooring is another one. That's a very, very popular thing that people have installed over the top of the concrete in their garage because it's non-stick, makes it easy if it's wet to walk across. You don't have to worry about slipping. And it also looks really good, so a lot of people do that. And of course, you got all the lawn-related ones. Those are all, of course, going to spike. And just looking through this list, it just continues on and on and on. And of course, you have all the pool-related services. So pool cleaning, pool building, pool maintenance, and working on the concrete around it, all that sort of stuff. Anything and everything that you can imagine that is done to the outside of a house or even a business property is going to increase in demand. And these are just a few of the absolutely endless amount of niches out there, and this is just broad terms. So with landscaping or with lawn care related things, for example, there are sub-services in each one of those categories that you could build an entire website about, specifically a Magic Page plugin site that you could eventually target the entire nation for lawn aeration and have it ranking for thousands and thousands of cities. And during spring and fall, when that particular service is in absolutely sky-high demand, you're going to absolutely kill it, bottom line. So if you're someone who's brand new to this, you don't know much about home services, go to the companies that offer those services, look through their websites, see what services are offered. If you don't know anything about building pools or pool cleaning or window washing or installing window, all that sort of stuff, if you don't know anything about it, so just go and do research, read the blogs on HomeAdvisor about the services, and that way you're educated on the services, so that way you can create better content on your website that's going to not only rank better, but also convert the visitors. Because if you write the jumbled garbage that you see from vendors on somewhere like iWriter that is written by someone who doesn't know anything at all about the particular service, you're not going to convert. Bottom line, if someone sees that there's broken English on a website, they're immediately going to think, what is going on here? This is just makes no sense. And they're going to leave the website. So then you don't get that conversion. Anyways, if you have questions or you want to see me go more in depth on how I build out the MVP version of a site before expanding and scaling it, leave a comment below. I can do a video a little bit more in depth on that as well. Also, I'm going to be announcing a challenge that I'm going to be doing here on the channel, which basically involves a ton of work every single day for about the next 3 months. So if you're not already subscribed, you should go down below, hit that subscribe, and also smash the bell for notifications so you know when that video and all the other content I share comes out here on the channel. And also, by the way, if you're going to go and take action with this information I gave you, I know it's a really long video with a lot of information. Either way, though, leave a like. Lets me know that you guys like this type of content and that you're actually going to go and take action. If you want to get guided step-by-step training on how to build websites in niches like that, rank those websites, and then monetize those websites, we offer guided step-by-step training in our courses, which you can get access to in the links right down below in the description beneath this video. So with all that said, I have a lot of work that needs to get done because this challenge for the next couple months is going to be ridiculous. It's actually going to be absolutely insane, especially when you factor in the other work that I do with my clients and here on the YouTube channel, students in the courses, and all that good stuff. But I welcome the challenge and I enjoy it. So it feels great to be doing videos again. Being sick for 2 weeks was absolutely miserable, and I'm thankful to be almost back to 100% and doing videos for you guys here because I actually really enjoy doing this, sharing the information that has been accumulated in my mind over the past several years with just lots of trial and error, lots of learning, and it's something that's really cool, and I feel grateful to share it. So with that said, I'll see you guys in the next video.